We now have fewer people in our jails than any time since World War II. And we are safer for it and better for it.
We begin with pleas for help. Business owners and residents living in fear as an increase in violent crimes grips their neighborhood.
Police officers are holding back on some enforcement efforts after weeks of protests. This as violence is skyrocketing, with some innocent victims caught in the crossfire.
When they disbanded that unit, the gun unit, all the stuff, poof, because the city was doing all right.
Community activist Tony Herbert is calling on Mayor Bill de Blasio to redeploy the NYPD's undercover anti-crime unit, largely tasked with getting guns off the street. The unit was disbanded last month amid protests against police brutality.
If you listen to the city council, they want less policing. They want to defund the police. But as I look out there right now, with the violence going on, it's not a good sign.
Gun violence is on the rise in New York City. No community or age group seems to be immune.
Children caught in the crossfire of rising gun violence across New York City. A 1-year-old has died after being hit by bullets.
He was just learning how to talk. And some cowards took his life.
The grandmother of 1-year-old DeVell Gardner Jr. stood outside the Bed-Stuy Park Tuesday, where her grandson was fatally shot in his stroller. That 1-year-old was sitting in his stroller last night when he was shot in the stomach. He was rushed to the hospital right away, where later he was pronounced dead.
The breaking news in Brooklyn, police are reporting 4 shootings in just over an hour, 6 total for yesterday. That included an 11-year-old boy who was shot while playing outside his own home.
Gun violence erupts in the city once again, not far from where a 1-year-old was shot and killed on Sunday night.
Last night, 6 people were shot in Brooklyn in just 1 hour.
It is horrible to watch a father holding his daughter's hand in broad daylight when a car pulls up. The gunman reaches out of the passenger side window and opens fire. The little 4-year-old can be seen running for her life.
It should not be going on, period, especially kids, and it happened in broad daylight. It's crazy.
When is it going to stop? How many more lives have to be lost? How many mothers have to keep burying their kids?
We had one female, 23 years old, that was shot 4 times in the chest. 10 minutes later, at 6:31, 2105 Rockaway Parkway, we had 3 males shot.
Just a short distance away in a building on East 171st Street, a double murder. Watch as 3 men cower as the gunman starts shooting. 2 men in their 20s killed.
Police say 2 people were shot at a block party on Frost Avenue. Detectives say a woman was hit in the head. We've learned she's in critical condition. Also, a man shot. He's expected likely to survive.
Breaking news on this Sunday night. 9 victims fatally shot tonight across 4 boroughs in a recent surge of violence in New York City.
It's been a violent weekend in New York City with more than 22 people shot so far. Surveillance video recorded an incident in which a gunman walked up and killed a 35-year-old man who was washing a car.
17 shootings occurred and 24 people were injured in the last 24 hours here.
You can see the suspect walk up to a man last night on New Lots Avenue, pull out a gun, and start firing as people scatter.
A teenager from Queens is just the latest victim. Since last Friday, more than 60 people have been shot. 11 have died.
The gunman then turned and walked away. This happened last night on New Lots Avenue. A 20-year-old man fatally shot in the head. A 36-year-old woman is recovering from gunshots to her arm and torso. So far, no arrests.
Another weekend of shootings and bloodshed around New York City amidst fireworks and July 4th celebrations. There was violence. 9 deaths, more than 3 dozen injured.
Many New Yorkers have spent the holiday weekend celebrating America's independence. Many other people, though, spent it dodging bullets, recovering in the hospital, and nearly a dozen families getting the news that a loved one died due to gun violence.
This morning, a bloody 4th of July weekend has come to a close, with police reporting scores of shootings. Between Saturday morning through last night, at least 11 have died. The NYPD says there were 37 shooting incidents over the weekend, with a total of 56 victims.
Today, New York City is still reeling from a weekend of violence. The numbers don't lie. Shootings have increased 140% compared to this time last year.
According to the NYPD, there are 125 shooting incidents in the first 3 weeks of this month alone. Violence that has not been seen in June since 1996. Police say many of the shooters are on parole or have open cases.
If you looked at what we were hearing day after day in 2013, you would have imagined it would have been impossible to end the broken and unconstitutional policy of stop and frisk. We were sold a bill of goods. We were lied to every day, being told that if we ended that policy, there would be crime and chaos everywhere. And thank God most of us didn't listen to that hype. We changed something unjust and we became a fairer city. And guess what? We became a safer city at the same time.